Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. This is a summary of part 2. Let's get this started with. Now, the book itself is split into 3 parts. I already covered the first part in a previous video. I will cover the second part right now, and the third part I will cover in a future video. And of course, a fourth part is coming with a combination of all of them. With my best try to go ahead and simplify all of that into one. Where were we? Well, in part 1 we went ahead and left off about a little bit information about Kurtz, saying that he was a scientist, a prodigy, and a pretty big pioneer of revolution and some ideas about civilization that he tried to put on Africans, which didn't really work out for him. In part 2, we go ahead and start off with uncle and manager. Now, the manager's uncle and the manager himself are having this conversation on the steamboat, the newly repaired one, and the steamboat himself. Marlowe was sleeping on the helm of the steamboat, on the top part, and he was literally there, and the manager and the uncle were below him, so he could literally hear all of them. They probably didn't think he was awake, or they probably didn't notice that he was even there. He was going to sleep, but then he realized he was listening to some conversation, and then the name Kurtz came up, and he decided that he was going to listen to the whole thing. Whole flippin' sin, yay. The manager and the uncle go ahead and talk about how much they hate Kurtz, how much they hate Kurtz, how much ivory he comes in, which is equal to, if not more, than all the other importers of ivory combined give to the company. As a result, he is a pretty big person, and he has lots of promotions in his future. The uncle and the manager decide that they really, really hate all this guy, and they really hope that the sickness will go ahead and get to Kurtz before they even get to him. Which is why Marlowe probably made them suspicious into thinking that the steamboat was, well, sunk on purpose. Later on, of course, they have to make their way. As a result, Kurtz went ahead and woke up. The uncle and the manager decide to leave the inner station, and off they go. Along the way, though, they are attacked by Native Africans of Congo, and this is how they attacked. They literally appeared out of bushes out of nowhere and started shooting arrows at all of them. One of the helmsmen, who is a native of Congo, was shot and he was killed. As a result, of course, that was not good for Marlowe himself, and he quickly threw the body off board before the other cannibals on the board, aka Africans, were eaten. Eventually, of course, they somehow managed to get out of safety. Their steamship, sort of damaged, but still usable. They went ahead and started going ahead, trying to find something about what happened in the inner station. And some guy that Kurtz went ahead and took under his wing. They went ahead and they arrived at some part of the inner station. It's not that far from the inner station, but it's not the official inner station. They go ahead and find a bunch of firewood. And with all that bunch of firewood, there was this note saying, quickly come up here to upriver. Of course, this sounds not like Kurtz because, there was this name signed onto it, but it was written in some sort of language that he could not understand. Maybe it was code, he said. And it was definitely not Kurtz's because it was too long. They later go ahead and start going upriver, and they eventually meet this Russian guy who literally told everyone that he met Kurtz, and that meeting and talking of Kurtz went ahead and exploded and changed his entire mind. It changed his life, and apparently this is how he described it. Kurtz opened his eyes for him, the Russian's eyes. We will go ahead and talk about the rest of the conversation later, but unfortunately that is all the time we have for part 2. Sad. I really hope you guys enjoyed this short summary of part 2. I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, try out peace. Bye bye.